Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
A pair of highly organized groups of thieves who know what they're after and how to get it. They've struck so many times a special task force is focused on taking them down, and that task force is starting to make some headway. Thanks for being here with us for the news at 6 o'clock. I'm Kimberly Gill.
And I'm Damon Fernandez in for Devin Skillian. The Attorney General's office calls them flagrant criminal rings operating all over Metro Detroit. And one of them is made up of Chilean nationals allegedly breaking into high-end homes.
And the other, a crew targeting retail stores for hundreds of thousands in merchandise. Sean Lay is in downtown Detroit at Lululemon, one of the chains that's seen a lot of money walk out the door. Sean, this has been happening all over the area.
All over the area, all over the state. We've been tracking this, guys. Check it out. Lululemon here, downtown Detroit. Beautiful location, beautiful area here. This place has been hit. Time and time again, people rushing in, grabbing as much stuff as they can, rushing out. There is a car waiting, and they're gone. Get this, guys. 49 times. Lululemon and Ulta locations, Metro Detroit, some in Grand Rapids and other places. 49 times. But tonight, it's a crew of 3, and they're out of business. Lululemon in downtown Detroit was hit over and over again, along with locations across the area. People rushing in, grabbing as much merchandise as they can and running out. This is the list police were working with of the incidents, 49 in all this year. Today, federal, state, local law enforcement, along with Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel, announcing that the ring has been busted. The AG explaining how this impacts all of us.
Those losses get passed along to the consumer. So this isn't just a regular criminal law issue. It also is a consumer protection issue, because the more that we can ensure that, people are being held accountable, people know they're going to be held accountable, and that hopefully there'll be fewer of these incidences occurring.
Also, we've been telling you about the big-time home invasions of multi-million-dollar homes across Oakland County and in other areas. Sheriff Michael Bouchard first shining light on this and tying it to gangs who fly here from Chile legally, and they're here to steal. Now, 3 people have been arrested. Oakland County Executive Dave Coulter, once the victim of a home invasion himself, talks about why ending this crime wave is key.
What you can't replace is the sense of violation, that someone, invaded your sanctuary, your safe place. And so this is more than just about things, right? It is about peace of mind in our communities.
Peace of mind. Far from over, though, guys. Let's regroup here and reset. 3 people, Lululemon, Ulta, 49 robberies are going to be in court in Novi Wednesday and Thursday. 3 others from this South American fly in and do burglaries. Only 3 have been arrested. They're in Carmel, Indiana, facing charges there. Charges here are pending. Many more teams remain out there. So police and then the task force are saying stay vigilant. The teams are having success at this time before they move on or get caught. Back to you.
Yeah. Okay. Sean, we appreciate it.
Well, right now we're learning some new details about a second arrest in the murder of a prominent local Jewish leader. Samantha Wall was found stabbed to death outside her Lafayette Park home in Detroit back in October. A person of interest was taken into custody back in November, but was released without being charged. Sources tell Local 4 the person now in custody is not the same person arrested before. We're also hearing the person in custody right now has no ties to Wall. Members of the Jewish community are waiting for answers, but DPD isn't saying much right now.
We wish for more communication from the Detroit police. We feel very in the dark through this process. Sunshine is the best disinfectant. So more communication, the better. We're hopeful, and we're standing by.
Well, right now, Detroit Police Chief James White has said Wall's murder was not tied to any hate crime or anti-Semitism, but there's been no explanation of what the motive might have been. Obviously, much more to come on this story, and we're keeping a close eye on the case to bring you the latest.
We're awaiting word on the possibility of charges against the parents of a 5-year-old boy who shot and killed himself while jumping on a bed. Happened at a home on Greenfield near McNichols in Detroit. Investigators say mom and dad weren't home when the child found the gun on a dresser, was playing with it, and shot himself. 4 other children were in the apartment at the time. CPS was called to care for those children. The investigation continues.
Police in Ferndale say they've tracked down a group of men who allegedly pretended to be law enforcement in order to burglarize a home. Now, we first told you about this back in August when surveillance video surfaced showing the men fleeing the scene on West Woodland Street. Police say they presented themselves as police to a 65-year-old man exiting his home. Then they handcuffed him and went inside. Aided by new license plate reader technology, police raided 4 locations and found what they call evidence connected to the armed robbery. They arrested Edward Clay and Bernard Gardner of Detroit, along with Trevor Glenn of West Bloomfield. Now, police also found a lot of guns, 20 illegal firearms, several of which were stolen or had been altered, plus high-capacity magazines and 800 rounds of ammunition. All 3 men right now are facing charges of armed robbery, home invasion, and felony firearm.
The new president of Michigan State University has a few months before he takes over in March. But today, Kevin Guskowitz gave some insight on what's ahead for MSU under his leadership. Will Jones is live. And Will, I would imagine a lot of Spartans just want a sense of stability.
Yeah, Kimberly, that is exactly right. Kevin Guskowitz's official start date is March 4th, and before he takes over, he's going to use the time to get up to speed on some of the most pressing issues facing Michigan State. UNC Chapel Hill Chancellor Kevin Guskowitz will be the 6th president of Michigan State University in 6 years, a university that has been plagued by scandal.
I still have a lot to learn and to be read in on a number of those situations. Obviously, it's been in the news, and I'm aware of it at that level.
There's also infighting on the MSU Board of Trustees that he may have to contend with.
I'm going to work hard to find the unique talent and expertise that each of them brings to the board as a group.
As leaders of some of the nation's most prestigious universities have come under fire for their congressional testimony on anti-Semitism, Guskowitz says he has taken a different approach to tensions on campus at UNC Chapel Hill surrounding the Israel-Hamas war, and he's promising to bring that mindset to Michigan State.
We, as a leading global public research university, have a responsibility to help educate and model the way in which we should have respectful discourse around some of the world's biggest challenges.
I spoke with the Detroit Spartans Alumni Club board member today about this change in leadership.
Well, this is another positive step for the university forward, and turning over a leaf in the right direction and continue to move forward together.
Guskowitz was asked today about his leadership style. He described it as a partnership. He really wants to work alongside people. We're live tonight in Detroit. Will Jones, Local 4.
Okay, Will, thank you.
Israel is ignoring the increasingly louder calls for a ceasefire in Gaza. Heavy fighting raged today in the southern Gaza town of Khan Yunis. Israel claims they found a large amount of weapons there as the IDF pressed ahead with its offensive. Nearly 85% of people who'd been living in Gaza have been driven out, and thousands of Palestinian civilians have been killed since the October 7th attack by Hamas against Israel. An effort by the United Nations Security Council to end the fighting has garnered widespread support, but was vetoed by the U.S., who just approved more than $100 million to send tank ammunition to Israel. Well, ahead at 6:30 on NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt, a story of survival. We hear from one of the Israeli hostages recently freed by Hamas.
Well, we've seen exceptional generosity at our 2 recent Help Me Hank Toys for Tots drives.
Now a local police department is putting out an APB to ensure all children get gifts this holiday season. Kim DeGilio was in Dearborn as the donations poured in, and some talented young musicians provided the beat.
Well, we're here at the Dearborn Police Department, and if you hear that sound, you're probably thinking it sounds like a party, because it is a party here. It's all for Toys for Tots, and here to tell us about this is Chief Shaheen. So, Chief, first of all, tell me about this drum set that's going on right now.
So what you hear in the background are the Maple drummers from Maple Elementary School, and they play on a traditional Arab drum. It's called a tabla, and it's just a beautiful melody. They do a wonderful job, but it doesn't just include the drummers, but they also have a wonderful choir, and so they join us every year for entertainment. They do a great job.
And you can really see the community came out for this event, which is a toy drive for Toys for Tots. This is something that you guys do every year. Why do you do it?
Well, we just recognize, first of all, it's a way to get back to the community, but we have the opportunity to partner with the U.S. Marine Corps, and it's a national toy drive, but we do the best that we can here in the city of Dearborn. And the one thing I love about this community, Kim, it's very generous. And so when you ask for help, they step up in a big way. And every year we are one of the largest donation centers here in Michigan, and we're very proud of that. And so we just want to continue working to serve our community, make sure the kids have a toy under the tree for Christmas.
Yeah, I think people from Dearborn are pretty cool.
Well, I think you're from, aren't you from Dearborn, Kim?
I certainly am. But yes, so anyway, this obviously was just for today, but people can donate all throughout the holiday season, dropping off the toys here, right?
Correct. So these toy boxes will be here for several weeks, right up until Christmas. So if you can't make it down here today, please come on down and drop off a new unwrapped toy and just say hello.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us and also for hosting this toy drive here at your police station.
Thank you for coming out, Kim. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Guys, back to you.
All right, and you can drop off your gifts at the Dearborn Police Department until December 18th.
The kids were so good with keeping time with those drums. It seems every year right around this time, something mysterious happens in the Salvation Army's Red Kettle campaign.
Yeah, and it's happened again. A Secret Santa dropped a rare South African gold coin known as a Krugerrand into a red kettle at the Kroger store on Harper in St. Clair Shores. Now, it's valued at around $2,000.
Yeah, and this now marks the 11th year in a row someone whom the Salvation Army refers to as a mysterious individual has dropped a Krugerrand into a red kettle in Macomb County.
All right, Kim, it's getting a little cold outside, and look, there's some people still ice skating over in Campus Martius right now.
Gorgeous.
Looking good.
It is. We've had some pretty decent weather for the ice skaters downtown. Several nights have been pretty warm and also dry, and that's what we have tonight, although it's not too warm, but it's not bad either. We've got temps in the low to mid 30s, 34 in Detroit, 32 in Ann Arbor, 33 in Lapeer and Monroe. Winds have calmed down just a little bit. They're out of the west at about 10 to 15. Exact Track 40 radar, we had the clouds through most of the day. It's just mostly cloudy out there right now, but it's dry and it'll stay dry. In fact, if you're headed downtown to the Pistons game, just be aware that as you leave tonight, it's going to be cold. Temps will be in the 30s. It'll be dry, but the wind chills will make it feel like it's in the 20s. Right now downtown, it's 36, a chilly 32 in Pontiac, mid 30s in Mount Clemens, 33 in Monroe, and 32 out in Ann Arbor. But the wind makes it feel like it's only 24 in Ann Arbor and 24 at Metro Airport, 25 in Monroe. Tomorrow we get a little bit warmer, but we have wind to contend with. Wind gusts over 30 miles per hour. We'll talk about more sunshine on the way and some warmth coming back in just a few minutes.